Hi there, everyone. This is Emma from the Menopausal Mayhem Mothers, the completely mad and light-hearted look at the menopause. However, we're all very much aware of the fact that the menopause can be a really awful time in a woman's life. And as much as I make fun, the only person I make fun of, Leah, is myself. But I get inundated sometimes with messages from women saying, help. And of course, I'm not a medic. And I struggled with the menopause, having gone through it surgically back in my early 40s, and I didn't really get the help that I needed, just purely because I think the NHS is inundated and so on, even more so now. So I just wanted to say hello to you because I think you're relatively new to my favorite practice ever, because they changed my life. They brought back, this smile disappeared for quite some time, and to the point that I almost couldn't leave the house. It was heartbreaking. And that was all down to the menopause, and I had absolutely no idea. So tell me about yourself. How did this start?
My joining the Menopause Consultancy.
And your passion for menopausal women and helping menopausal women.
Yeah. So I've always loved treating women. I mean, obviously I'll treat anyone that crosses my path, but I just have always had a great rapport with women. Maybe it's because I am a woman, I sort of get women, and I trained, I did obstetrics gynecology training, and I trained with another doctor called Dr Lia, and we've stayed friends for years and years, and my path deviated slightly. I then did GP training, but I've always wanted to get back to having more of a subspecialty with women. And I find the menopause it's so interesting and it's so exciting because we can do so much. There's such a huge number of women who are suffering in silence, like you, not getting the help they need, and we're here and we can help. And so Marie and Tina invited me to join the Menopause Consultancy, and I was delighted to do that, and really excited just to try and reach as many women as possible, really.
Yeah. And do you know what, you said those magic words, you can help, and that I think this is what my raison d'etre with working with the Menopause Consultancy, with the reach that I have and the following that I have, because my blog is mainly humorous. However, as I say, there are so many women out there who are debilitated. I don't know if I've made that word up completely, but and the fact that they really don't realize that there are specialist doctors out there who are taking time and trouble, like yourselves. And I went to the Menopause Consultancy a broken person, and that sounds terribly dramatic, but I think both of my children and my husband sent me because they'd sort of started to get quite worried. From losing my teeth, losing my hair, mood swings, crying all the time, not being able to leave the house, and just conditions that I had never experienced before. And evidently, I did go and see a GP, and no disrespect to him because he's a wonderful man, but not a specialist, put me onto antidepressants, which of course didn't help because in fact it was hormones. And so ended up seeing the Menopause Consultancy, and a life changer, it's too small a word for it, to be honest. To be listened to. So I mean, do you have any sort of specialist area that you deal with ladies, or are you sort of general overall if someone comes to you? What's your approach when someone makes a 45-minute remote consultation?
Yeah, so it's a really good question. I suppose because I'm used to being so broad with general practice, I can bring that to the menopause in that I try and have a really holistic look at the person just to see exactly what they need. Start with really open questions, what's been going on, tell me about your symptoms, see what comes back, and then obviously trying to really get into, are there any other things that I need to sort of know about. The other thing that I love, my other passion, is I'm trained as a yoga instructor, and I love lifestyle medicine. And so even though I think HRT is incredible and I'm delighted to be able to prescribe it when people need it, I try and look at the whole person, because I think as doctors we can be quite quick to jump for the drugs. And I think there's a lot more to life than what drugs can do for us. And there's a lot of things we can do for ourselves. There's a lot of, you know, other sort of avenues that are worth pursuing as well. So yeah, just really the thing with menopause, I suppose, I'm sure the others would say this as well, is it's so individualized. And we're so lucky at the Menopause Consultancy. Like you said, we do have 45 minutes. Not like the GPs that have 10 minutes to try and shoehorn everything in. They haven't got a hope, really. You know, I'm never surprised when people come and say, oh, you know, my GP tried, but they didn't have time, because I'm a GP as well. I know what it's like. And it's very, very hard. And it's such a pleasure to have longer to really give people the time that they need.
Yeah. And that's actually fantastic, because one of the things that I've learned, you know, because I make it my business. This is really me being a bit naughty, but I make it my business to be a part of many menopausal groups. And there are quite a lot out there. And I would say, there are two things. What the general thing that I would say that is really scary is the total lack of information that is available.
Yes.
It is lots of women supporting each other, but with no medical training. Invariably, it's all anecdotal. So there's the big thing. So everybody should be going to the Menopause Consultancy, because there are these. Are there 6 of you now? 5, 6 of you doctors, I think.
5. 1, 2, 3. I think 5.
5 of you. So with this amazing knowledge, but also this amazing understanding and this amazing capacity to listen. And also, you are informed. You know what you're talking about. But the other thing that's lovely about talking to you specifically is that not all women do want to be, even though obviously there's been a lot of myth busting about HRT, do not want to go down the HRT route, or for some reason they can't go down the HRT route. So to know that there is a doctor within the consultancy, I mean, all of you I know tailor make everything to every woman, but the fact that you specifically really like to focus on that and look at that as possibly the first option, that's fantastic. That's really good for me to know, and I think it's really good for all the ladies that are going to hopefully be watching this to know. And would you say nutrition and supplements and that kind of thing can help?
Yeah, I mean, I think we, do you know what was really interesting? When I did my yoga training, they really, the theory side of it is so much, and they take you right back to the sort of ancient you know, teachings and practicings of, you know, Ayurveda and ancient Chinese medicine. And what I'm finding so interesting now is that so much of what we're doing in medicine is coming back round. It's like full circle, really thinking about what we're putting into our bodies. So before getting to sort of, I mean, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not trained as a nutritionist. I'd love to. It's on my list if I ever get time. Because I'd love to understand that more. And I feel like for so many people, that's what people need. They don't need a doctor. They need a nutritionist, or, you know, it depends on the problem. But I suppose I just try and just eke out what I think is going to help. And then if I need to signpost somebody to a nutritionist, things that I can do, things that I can suggest, you know, there's lots of, you know, things that we can do. And then obviously, if people come to us saying either I want HRT or can I talk about the options, of course, then, you know, we go down that route as well.
No, absolutely. And you know, one of the things that I've spoken to the various other doctors about is this myth that HRT is extremely dangerous. You know, I think that was back in the 70s and 80s, where and obviously with all medicine, every single medicine that you take, including paracetamol, you know, there are risks attached, but actually HRT and estrogen is protective, isn't it?
In the overwhelming majority of cases, it has, an overwhelmingly protective and beneficial effect. And again, that's our job, to try and work out who's going to benefit, who might have some issues, and if there are issues, explaining them, these are the risks, these are the benefits, what are you experiencing, what's right for you, and what do you want to do.
Yeah, and I do think there's a school of thought that once you have made a lady feel better about herself, because obviously you get a lot of physical symptoms. For me, you know, part of it is aging, sadly, and I'm right there. I'm 53. But a lot of I think the more debilitating symptoms are the psychological ones. But once you start to feel better within yourself, so your anxiety levels are dropping, your sleep is better, your low moods or your moods that are all over the place are getting better, automatically, because the brain is such an incredible organ, your physical symptoms start to get better. So with whatever you guys prescribe or you recommend within your consultancy, actually can make women feel better just from making them feel better up here.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people you have that initial chat with them and they say, I'm excited about getting the drugs, but I feel so much better just having spoken to you. I think being listened. I think there is a stigma attached to HRT and to the menopause, which is crazy. And I don't know if I should say this, but I think it's because it doesn't happen to men, so we don't talk about it. But I will talk about it, and I think
it's spot on. And don't worry, this is going out to ladies. And if there's any men listening, just because
they should listen.
Yeah, no, you're quite right. And the stigma with the menopause, I think, has come from quite a long time ago. And I harp on about this, that it's not the twilight of your life. Lots of women see this as the twilight of our lives. And in fact, you know, we live post-menopausally longer than we do premenopausally. And as far as I'm concerned, I've hit 53 and I'm about to start to go out and embark on my dreams. So I'd quite like to do that feeling normal. And so, it is our time to reap what we've sown. And
I mean, it's a new chapter, and I think what's really, you know, I listened to, I don't know, I'm sure you would have listened to this as well, but I'll just say it in case some women haven't and would like to. But Michelle Obama's got a great series of podcasts, and she did a brilliant one where she was chatting to her gynecologist, I think, and her gynecologist so eloquently put it that it's the beginning of a new chapter. And when you think about us as women, we spend so much of our lives looking after other people. And it's a time when our children are getting older and they're becoming more independent and we get some of our own life back. And then suddenly we feel awful.
Yeah.
And it's such terrible timing, and it's really unfair, and it doesn't need to be like that.
No, absolutely. And well, how lovely. I mean, I would recommend any lady to pick up the phone. There's a lovely lady called Louise Jackson, who is the lady behind the emails. But go to the website, please, everybody, www.menopauseconsultancy.co.uk. Make an appointment. Lia, you've got appointments?
Yeah, I've got appointments. Yeah, and evenings I can do if that fits in with people's, you know, lifestyles and things.
Yeah, and the fantastic.
The other thing is, if there's a time that somebody wants that isn't on the schedule, drop Louise an email, and we might, you know, hopefully we can, you know, accommodate that. And,
you know, I mean, for want of not wanting to be too opportunistic or take advantage of a terrible situation, but we are in a pandemic. We cannot get our highlights done. We cannot get our nails done. We cannot, no, same here. So we might as well work on ourselves, because there's a lot of people out there, you know, exercising, losing weight. If you're going through the menopause, you'll be feeling even, so invest in yourself. And I think this is the time to do it. So yeah, Lia, what a pleasure to meet you.
Well, thank you. So nice to meet you as well.
For everything that you're doing for women out there, because you're right. It's something that's overlooked. And I think because part of the problem is a little bit like menstruation and adolescence. It's not an illness, but it can make you feel very, very ill. So it does get overlooked, and it shouldn't be. And you guys are there. You're amazing. You changed my life. I could not endorse you guys strongly enough. So everybody get out there and let's get some women flying.
Yeah, exactly. Can't wait. Thanks, Emma.
So much for your time. All the best. And I'm really looking forward to having an appointment with you.
Amazing.
See you soon. Have a good day and stay safe.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye.